What's up everybody, DoolieRay here, and today we're going to be taking a look at MODOK, who I happened to pull in the Grandmaster Crystals that I opened yesterday. If you missed that opening, you might want to check it out. It's pretty funny, pretty awesome, but today we're going to be looking at MODOK, his abilities, and yeah, we'll see where we go from there. I'm only going to be able to take him up to rank 2 today. That's all I have the resources for. I'll probably end up taking him to rank 3 just because that'd be hilarious. And yeah, I'm still working on understanding all of his abilities and everything, how he works entirely. It's kind of unclear to me how it works. But the more I play with him, the more I'm starting to get the hang of how to use him. So, we'll just start off, look at his, these are his different ratings. He has really, really low block proficiency and everything. He doesn't have crit rating or anything, and that looks really, really bad on the surface. But in his abilities, he has this thing called Flux, which, according to my understanding, is just he randomly gets better abilities. These 5 different areas will be going in and out during the battle. That's the way that I understand it right now. There's no way for me. There's not a visual thing to tell you what you have working for you when you're playing with MODOK. So you could have block proficiency, you could have attack rating. I'm not entirely sure how to be able to tell whenever, whatever is happening. You know, that's a bit of a complicated way to put it, but this is a bit of a complicated character. And at the same time, he's also not super complicated. Okay, we'll take a look at the abilities in a second, but I want to take a quick second to read his bio. Terrifying result of an unspeakable experiment. Oh, he's a mechanized organism designed only for killing. He's MODOK. I get it now. I can't believe I didn't know that. The more you know. Okay, so there's that. But what I like about this guy is he has 7 synergies, which is insane to me. He has synergies that are unique to him and 1 other or 2 other characters, like the new synergies that are being given to the new characters that are being made. He also has synergies that just apply to everybody. And this one right here with Modok I seems pretty interesting. I know for a lot of people who do Labyrinth of Legends, they have to take in like a mutant team of Cyclops and Magneto because they want to get some extra attack. But even those two, I believe, even at 5-star, the 5-star level, they only give you 12% extra attack. So I think if you can take in MODOK and Modok I and maintain a level of 15 hits or more in a combo, then you'll have 15% attack. You'll be able to... Well, actually, I don't know if it will or won't activate the extra enrage timer in Labyrinth of Legends. I guess I can test that later. He also has some attack synergy with Falcon and Captain America. He gives everybody power gain when he's with Angela. With Taskmaster, he has a unique synergy where his force field recharges faster. I don't think that one's as important, but this one is really interesting. His maximum flux increases by 25%. I'm not entirely sure what that means. Maybe it just increases the amount of whatever unique buff to himself. I'm still working on figuring out what that means. But for Gwenpool and Deadpool, it increases their bleed duration by 10%, which is really good, especially paired with deep wounds. I'm imagining Gwenpool could be turned into a total monster. Let's see, with Abomination here, he takes 50% less poison damage, and Abomination deals 50% more poison damage. And then with Ultron, he crits after 5 attacks instead of 7, and then Ultron gets extra critical damage. So I think since he doesn't have a crit rating, he crits, like according to his abilities, he crits once every 7 attacks, and with that synergy, he'll do it every 5. So let's start at the top here. I don't, unfortunately, have any way to awaken him, so we'll have to ignore that for now, but according to this, it increases his blocking and auto-blocking, and there's also some special stuff. He also gets special abilities when he defeats an enemy of like a certain class. I think in the next battle it will give him some extra abilities. Which, I mean, when I was fighting him in the event, in the monthly event quests, just taking a look at that, he got like power gain, and I can't even remember. It made him pretty hard to beat as a defender. So here's his flexibility. It just says that Modok's attributes fluctuate throughout the fight in a complex and seemingly unpredictable manner. It would take a super genius to calculate the pattern. I'm not a super genius, so I don't know entirely how this works. I think it's just probably random, and you'll get attack rating, crit damage, power rate, ability accuracy, and block proficiency throughout the fight. I don't know if flux means that it's like fluctuating and you're like changing the abilities, or if you like slowly gain all of these abilities throughout the fight and you just keep them. So I don't know what to say about that. He also has this force field. He starts the fight with a force field charge, and it auto blocks for you, and it gets extra block proficiency when it does that. And they can't trigger parry, which I don't know what that means for him being a defender. And then, yeah, if you use a force field, then it recharges after 7 seconds. And it says that as long as the force field is active, opponent's power gain rate is reduced by up to 100% based on flux. And I don't know how flux works, so I don't know how to effectively use that. And the force field recharges 0.8% or 0.8 seconds faster for each alive champion on the enemy team. I don't know how that's helpful when you're, say, questing with MODOK. Like, I don't know how that would affect you. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Let's see. Every 7th attack is guaranteed to be critical. Yeah, but critical rating is ignored. I've been fighting with him, and he seems to hit. Like, even when I have the synergy with Ultron, he crits more than every 5 hits, but his crit rating is 0, so I don't entirely know how that works. Maybe when you use dexterity, it gives you the precision buff, and that buffs you up for a second. I'm not entirely sure on that. His heavy attack has a 40% chance to incinerate the opponent for damage over a certain amount of time. And then in the special attack 1, enemy abilities that grant power or health are reversed for the duration of this attack. Up to 150% of what they would have gained is lost instead. And he also, on that attack, it doesn't generate any power for the opponent. I'm still working out enemy abilities that grant power. So I'll have to take him up against like a Hyperion or something. See if when he has a power gain and MODOK uses a special attack 1, if it like reverses the power gain and he loses power. We'll see what happens there. On the special attack 2, you have a 60% chance to inflict bleed for a certain amount of damage over 6 seconds, and the bleed duration is increased by up to 100% based on flux. I wish I knew how flux worked, but I don't. And then on the special attack 3, each rocket has a 72% chance to inflict a random non-unique debuff. So I'm trying to work out what I've seen him put on an armor break, weakness, and poison and bleed so far. He's done, like, there was one time where I got 2 weaknesses and 2 poisons on an opponent that I used a special 3 on. So throughout the fight, I would say his special 3 can kind of be compared to maybe Howard the Duck's special 2, where it just puts random debuffs on the opponent. So we'll keep on working on that. We're going to go ahead, though, and upgrade this guy to rank 2, hopefully, if I have enough. So we'll just start throwing stuff at him. Throw these at him. Might as well. And we'll just make some space so we can grab some bigger ISO. Alright. New profile champion, maybe. If I ever take him to rank 4, that would be pretty funny. The memes for days, right? Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab these. Go ahead and use that. Okay. So, that's top of rank 1. Go ahead and rank him up there. And put some more ISO into him. Oh, so close. beefing him up a little bit. Okay, and we're almost there. Just like 2 more seconds. And okay. I think that's as far as we take him for today. Yep, okay. Let's go ahead and look at, has anything changed? As far as this goes, this looks the same. I didn't actually pay attention to what these were. I think he does more bleed damage and more incinerate damage also. Okay, let's go ahead and take him into a fight. What should we do? There we go. Okay, let's try taking him against Hyperion. We're going to use a special one to see if he can reverse the power gain. Wow, he is a bit of a ways up there. He's got some good PI. Yeah, this is a rank 2 superior Iron Man. I don't know where he is on the power index, but MODOK seems to be relatively high. We're going to go ahead and duel this Hyperion. See if we can reverse his power gain with a special one. Or if we're just totally misunderstanding what this guy does. See if we can bait out a special. We'll just go ahead and get hit. Okay. This is not working for me. Okay, well, we got a special 2. That's not what we wanted. Okay, build up to that special 1 again. We just gotta see if, like, he actually reverses the power gain. That's all I want to know. Okay, here we go. That didn't... I couldn't tell. Okay, we'll try it again. I killed him too fast. Whoops. My bad, man. It's not what I was going for. Crap, where's Hyperion? There he is. Okay. We'll try it again. See if we can do anything. Come on. Alright, just a simple special 1. That's all we need. And pay attention to his power bar when I use it. Okay. Should be able to use it after this special. Okay, watch his power bar. Yeah, it's going down. Look at that, look at that. It's going down. Ooh. That's interesting. Could he be used like guillotine? Against like a Wolverine or something? If somebody's healing, he could like reverse the Yeah, look at that. Power going down. And it goes back up after a little while, I think, but still. That's interesting. It's a neat little tidbit for a special 1. Special 2 is pretty simple, so I don't think we need to look into that. But maybe we can go against the Winter Soldier and just use as many special 3s as we can, see what kind of debuffs we can get on him. Let's go. Against the Winter Soldier. And test this guy out. So I wasn't really paying attention to his damage when I was going against Hyperion. Okay, what synergies do we have going right now? I have the 15% attack plus the 6% attack and the maximum flux increase and the crit after 5 attacks instead of 7. Okay, so we'll see if that does anything for me against this Winter Soldier. We do have a class disadvantage, but I don't think that'll hurt us too much. Hopefully not. But we're going to use as many special 3s as we can against this guy. Let's see. How are those crits looking? Basic attacks. Looking fairly powerful. Plus, look at how much he's critting. He's critting way more than every 5 hits. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, maybe not. That was 5 hits right there. Okay. Let's see what this special 3 can do. Plus, it's really fun to watch. 3, 4... Is that 5 missiles? So it could be 5 debuffs. Okay, so what is that? It's a fatigue a poison, an incinerate, and a weakness? Is that a weakness? And he auto-blocked there for me when I evaded back too fast. So all in all, I'm pretty impressed with MODOK. That was 3 crits in a row. I don't know how that happened. Oh, maybe his crit rating went up with his maximum flux thingy, with his flux ability. I don't know how it works, but maybe that's a thing. So yeah, there's no way to be able to tell what his flux is doing, I don't think, but like throughout the battle it'll just like randomly help you out, I think. So this guy, I don't know, he's still a bit of a mystery for me. I don't entirely understand how he works. I would like to get him awakened at some point, see what that does for him. But let's try another special tree. Do you think we could get a power gain? I mean, power drain on him? I mean, it's possible. That is a debuff. Or maybe like a power lock. Okay, bleed. What is that? 2. What? I don't. It's an armor break and maybe a weakness. Look at the crits on that though. That's not too bad. I'm liking this guy a bit more than I thought I would originally. He's like, plus his power gain. Should his power gain, when I have a force field charge up, should his power gain like go down? I'm not sure about that. So is he gaining power like slower than usual, or what? Because I have a force field up. So we should be getting less power. Okay, let's see what debuffs we can get on him this time. His damage is actually not too disappointing. Like I was totally thinking this would be just a joke character. You like brush away, kind of like Carnage or Kamala Khan. You don't really want to get him, but he doesn't actually seem too terrible. I don't know, like comparatively, where he stands next to other champions, but I don't know. I'm not disappointed by this guy. He's a giant floating chair. What more could you want? I'm gonna see how far I can go on the Winter Soldier here. Alright, let's see what debuffs we can get now. I wish it told you like the actual debuffs you were putting on him. That would make it easier for me to understand. I mean, he's just putting random debuffs on the opponent, but still, if it like would tell you what you put on. Okay, he's got a heal block, poison, armor break, and 2 of some thingy that I can't tell what it is. That was a 5,000. 4,000? The armor break is really, really good, as far as I can tell. I do like that. Okay, let's try and not push him to any more special 2s. I have a force field charge up, so his power gain should be down, like at least a little bit. But I really can't tell if anything has changed. Keep on going. See what debuffs we can put on him this time. So I'm getting some good hits. We'll see if we can get him to like 50%, and then I'll just call it quits. If I even make it that far. Okay, he's got the armor break. I really like the armor break. Lets me do a bunch of damage. I wish there was a way to maybe make it last longer. Make the debuffs last longer. That would be pretty cool. Now pull. Just keep on hammering this guy. And just so you know, if you're curious about like MODOK's animations, if they're like hard to use or like difficult to be able to control, I'm not having that hard of a time. He's just like, he's basically like any other big character you would use, like Hulk or Abomination or something. He's a bit slow and like maybe a little bit clunky, but honestly, he's not that hard to use. So I wouldn't worry about it if I were you. There's no reason to. You can still use him. good character. Going. We're at 1% health. Pushing it right to the end. See if we can get one more special 3. Just see if we get any other debuffs. We have 300 hits now. Let's bait out one more special 1, then we'll use a special 3. There we go. Sending it off on a high note. This should take him down to like 50%. I really like the percentage that's up on the health bars now. That's like super helpful. Okay, 2 poisons and 2 weakness. That's what it looks like to me. Crits aren't very high, so his flux must not be in the attack rating area. Okay, there we go. Let's see how much. Wow, so that was 320 hits. And looks like he did almost 300,000 damage. So, I don't know how that compares to other characters in the game. He had the extra attack from this, he had extra attack from that, he had his flux increased, and he also had the crits happening every 5 hits instead of 7. Which I don't know how necessary this is. It's not a huge deal in my opinion, especially with the flux if it goes into helping you out in the crit area. It's just about playing with this guy. There's no way to tell, as far as I know, like, what his flux is actually doing. So, yeah. There's no way to tell. But, I'm not disappointed by MODOK. I thought I would be. I wasn't worried about it. I thought he was just going to be, like, another Howard the Duck or something. And maybe he is. He's a bit random. But his attack doesn't seem terrible. I didn't use his heavy attack, put an Incinerate on the Winter Soldier. I guess I could have done that, but I think we're okay. We've all seen him fart before. So, yeah, there you go. That's what I know so far about MODOK. I'm trying to help you understand, trying to help myself understand how he works. He's just a bit random, and he does good attack. He has good damage, as far as I can tell. So, I mean, he's definitely, I wouldn't say he's anywhere close to the best in the game, but he is not garbage like Luke Cage or Kamala Khan or anything. I would put him on the same level as maybe like Iron Man, Howard the Duck. He's a bit average. As far, like, that's my current understanding of him. So maybe I just don't fully know what he can do. I don't know his potential, but that's my understanding right now. I don't think he's bad by any means, and yeah, there's no harm in picking him up if you can. So there you go. That's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for joining me, and until I see you next, hang in there, and may the RNG be with you. Goodbye.